Hello, guys, and welcome back to my Old School Gunner YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're all keeping well. Please like this live stream and please subscribe to my channel. You see it there at the bottom. There we go. It's my YouTube channel, Old School Gunner. Thank you very much for your continued support, guys. In today's video, I'm just going to talk about the Euro 2020 round of last 16 draw that was made. What teams qualified, what the pairings are, and how I think it's going to pan out. I'll start at the start, guys. Of course, like many of you know, the round of last 16 starts on Saturday, the 26th. So it's going to be at 12 p.m. is the first match, and that game pairs Wales against, of course, everybody's favourite at the moment, Denmark. Of course, these two teams had a very different route to the round of last 16. Wales found themselves in a very difficult group with Italy, with Switzerland, but they managed to come through it, guys. Got second place and qualified automatically. Of course, the Italians had first place, sewn up from a line. But Wales, they dug in their last group game and they managed to get a result that took them through automatically. The Swiss finished third. So it was Italy first, Wales second, Switzerland third. The Swiss finished third and they got through as one of the best losers. So they scraped through, guys, scraped through. The Wales-Denmark game, which way do I see it going? Well, let's first talk about Denmark's route to the round of the last 16. Of course, Denmark had a very, very difficult route to the round of the last 16, guys, as you all know, I'm sure. In the very first match against Finland, their star player, Christian Eriksen, had a heart attack, guys. He had a cardiac arrest on the field as he was taking a throw-in. That was early in the first half. Of course, the game then was put off for a while. The fans were in shock. The players were in shock. Eriksen, luckily, was reanimated on the pitch. He was actually dead for a while. They brought him back. And now he's getting better, guys. He survived. But of course, that threw the Denmark team out a lot. They were concerned about him. For some reason, unbeknownst to themselves, they decided to restart the match against Finland. And of course, they ended up losing that game, guys. 1-0. I think that was a bit unfair on them myself, because of course they were affected by what happened. Of course they were affected by the whole situation. And to be made play the game under those circumstances, in my opinion, was 100% wrong. And they shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have even been asked, did he want to do that? Because obviously their heads weren't in the game, guys. There was a lot of young guys out there playing for Denmark, and of course, a situation like that would upset them. And when I'm 41 years old, guys, and it would upset me. Of course, it's going to upset them. Of course, they're going to be sad about it. So look, they lost the first game, of course. The second game against Belgium, they pulled out all the stops. They gave absolutely everything they had, guys. Of course, Belgium were the favourites to come out of the group. That's the way it worked out. In the second match, Denmark really put it up to them. I've never seen a performance with so much heart and so much determination and so much will to win. They willed themselves to win that game, guys. Unfortunately, they ended up on a reverse. They lost 2-1. Kevin De Bruyne won their goal sealing that win for Belgium. So, but their performance in that game, guys, I mean to say, they moved every obstacle they could out of the way and they gave it 110%. They gave it absolutely everything out there, guys. They had nothing left. They're coming off the pitch. They were exhausted. So respect to them. In the last game, believe it or not, they actually got the win that they needed to qualify. I couldn't believe it myself, but they actually won the game. They absolutely destroyed Russia. Russia were actually in second place and looking good to qualify. That's until they met Denmark, and Denmark absolutely hammered them off the field. Great win for them, fantastic result, and now they're into the last 16 against Wales. Which way do I think it's going to go? Very hard to say, guys. For me, it's a 50-50 game, maybe slight advantage to Denmark because they're riding on the crest of a wave right now, and everybody is behind them. I mean, and our whole fans are 110% behind them. It's going to be a cracking match, guys. Maybe Denmark have a slightly better team. Well, let's not count out Wales. They really put in a performance against Italy the last game to get through automatic qualification. It's not an easy thing to play against the Italians. Speaking of the Italians, that is the second match, also on Saturday, but at 3 p.m. And they are playing Austria. To be honest, I don't see Italy having a problem at all beating Austria. They're very good right now. They have one of the best teams I can remember in a long time, and they're 100% attack-minded under Roberto Mancini. It's non-stop attack from the first whistle to the last. They just open up completely against teams. They keep it tight at the back, but they go forward as an attacking unit, and they're a real handful. I don't give Austria a chance against them, to be honest. Not a prayer. Austria are good. I've been impressed with them, but this Italian team is something special, and they could go all the way. So my prediction for the second game, guys, on Saturday, and a win for Italy against Austria. The third match is on Sunday, the 27th, 12 p.m., and that is Netherlands against the Czech Republic. That one is a very tough one to call, guys. I really don't know which way that game is going to go. Holland have been good. The Czech Republic have been decent. It's a very hard game to call. We're just going to move quickly on to the next game, guys. The next game is a cracker, a huge game on Sunday at 3 p.m. It's Belgium against Portugal. And that is really going to be an incredible game. I mean, Belgium and Portugal are two of the favourites. Belgium, they had more or less a straightforward run to qualify. They really did well. They played very good football. I really can't see them. I don't think they'll struggle too much against Portugal, but Portugal are an incredible team. It might go all the way to extra time with penalties, guys. Portugal, of course, they were playing very well in the first game. In the second game, they got absolutely hammered by Germany. They really got found out against the Germans. I think they beat 4-2. In the last match, they managed to pull off a 2-2 draw with France. So Germany, Portugal, and France went out of the so-called, got through out of the so-called group of death. Three of the bigger teams. Now it's Belgium against Portugal. Of course, Portugal have the one, the only Cristiano Ronaldo, but it's not all about him, guys. They have Renato Sanchez. They have a lot of good players in that team. It's not all about Ronaldo. Belgium on the other side, we all know about Belgium. Lukaku is flying up front for them, banging in the goals. They've got Kevin De Bruyne. They've got so many players now, guys, I could be talking about all day. They've got Eden Hazard. Okay, he hasn't been in the best of form, but he's an ace in the pack, guys. You'd rather have him in your team than not. Eden Hazard, super sub, bring him on, he can do the business. Very hard to call that game, guys. Very hard to see which way that game goes. To be honest, I can't call it, guys. Too difficult. Like I said, could go all the way to extra time and penalties. The next match is on the following day, on Monday, June 28th at 12 p.m. It's Croatia against Spain. Now, both of these teams have been in very different form. Croatia, of course, got through out of the group with England. They, of course, lost to England in that group match. But they played very well in their last group game, beating Scottish. Very good performance. Won their goal in that game in Scotland by, of course, that man Modric. Luka Modric, he did the business for them, and then he laid on the third goal, which was crashed in. A comprehensive 3-1 win over Scotland. That secured their place. Spain, they've been touch and go, guys, but in their last game, like Croatia, they won. And they beat Slovakia, a good team, guys, 5-0, 5-0. This is international football here, guys. This isn't two guys down the park on a Sunday afternoon. You know what I mean? This is professional football. This is football at the highest level. They beat a team like Slovakia. They're a decent side. They beat Poland. They beat them 5-0, guys. 5-0. Say no more about it. Spain will be a team to be reckoned with. To be honest, Croatia are not the team they were 3 years ago when they defeated the English in the semi-final of the World Cup. They're not that team that got to the World Cup final against France. Of course, they lost that final, guys. Just saying, I'll give the slight advantage to Spain there. The next game is, of course, later on that Monday, 3 p.m. And it is, of course, the powerhouse of France against Switzerland. And like I said, Switzerland just managed to scrape through. They came third. They managed to get through a goal difference. But they have a decent enough side. And in the last match, they won that game. And they played well enough in fairness to them. For me, the main man for them is Jordan Shaqiri. Yeah, great player, guys. Really good player. They have a very good goalkeeper also in Jan Sommer. I see this being too much for the Swiss, though. I can't see them beating France, to be honest. I think they'll give it 100% like they always do. They're going to set out the shop. They'll be getting better as it's gone on, Switzerland. And like I said, their last win was a good one. They were maybe a little bit lucky to get through, but they are a good team. They maybe haven't shown it that much. Apart from the last match, they haven't shown how good a team they really are. But I really think France will have too much for them. It's a big ask to ask them to defeat France. France have a very, very strong unit, a very, very strong team. They're strong all over the park. They're strong at the back. They're strong up front. They're strong in the midfield. And they're a big team, guys. They're a strong team. They're big lads out there. I honestly think that's going to be a win for France. Moving on, there's 2 more games to go, guys, in the last 16 to make you aware of. Of course, a huge game is taking place on Tuesday, June 29th. These 2 teams haven't met each other in competition for a long time. They're going to meet each other on Tuesday. It's Gareth Southgate's England against Jogi Löw's Germany. So it's England versus Deutschland. Very, very hard one to call, guys. Both teams have been hit or miss. I think that's fair to say. Germany have had some good and bad results, kind of patchy. Same to say with England. And when Germany turned it on, they absolutely dismantled Portugal. They gave them a right beating. 4-2, guys. And Ronaldo was just speechless. There was nothing to do about it. England, yeah, they'd be doing okay, but they got found out against the Scots at Wembley. Maybe there was too much expectation on them, and they really got shown up a little bit in that game because Scotland had desire, they had will to win, they had passion, and they had some good players. They have a decent team, Scotland, and they're not bad at all. Of course, they haven't progressed. They're out of the competition now after getting hammered by Croatia 3-1. But look, that's football. But definitely in the game against England, they gave England food for thought. It was a 0-0, and really the Scots had a better chances. So both teams have been kind of touch or go. The Germans, yeah, and England the same. It's a hard one to call, guys. I honestly think it's going to go all the way to penalties, and of course, if it goes to penalties, you know who's going to win that. The Germans are going to win it if it goes to penalties, like they always do, and they're going to go on and win the whole thing. That's what they always do to England. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. It is what it is. Hard one to call. I honestly can't pick a team there. And the last game, last but not least, also on the Tuesday at 3 p.m, Sweden against the Ukraine. To be honest, I don't know much about either team, but I honestly think Sweden are a bit better. Their performances have been very good, and their goal scoring very good. They're banging in the goals, guys. Robert Lewandowski inspired Poland today. Be 3-2 with a goal last minute. Even Lewandowski, he scored a great double for Poland, but he couldn't stop him going out. The Swedish team I'm impressed with. They look very dangerous in the forwards, guys. They're flying forward. They don't hesitate at all, believe it or not. They're a very attack-minded team and not to be underestimated. And they've got a couple of guys that are banging the goals right now. They hit 3 goals yesterday in the game, and even till the last minute they were trying and they got the winner. So I honestly think they'll shade it against the Ukraine. Ukraine have been hit or miss, but to be honest, they're after qualifying and they're after getting into the last 16. So I'll give them their respect. There's a lot of tough games there, guys. There's a lot of big games coming up. Very hard to call, apart from the Switzerland-France game, of course, which I see as that being a win for France. The other games, Wales and Denmark, very hard to call. England, Germany, very hard to call. It's going to be very, very, very interesting, guys, to see what happens. It really is. I hope you enjoyed this little preview. I will be doing another one, of course, before the game starts. And of course, at some point then next week, I will be doing a live stream, watch along with some of the games. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching my preview. I hope that gave you a better idea of the games that are coming up and what we've got to look forward to. There are a lot of games to look forward to, guys, for us football fans, and we deserve it because we've had to wait a long, long time for this because of COVID. I wish you all the best, guys. Please hit the like, smash the like and subscribe for me, guys. I appreciate it very, very much. And I hope you enjoyed watching my video, and see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Enjoy your weekend.